All right, just a real quick thing about high-speed rail. This is my version of what I think about high-speed rail. It's a plan too stupid to die. All right? It is a never-ending, ever-changing story. The story about high-speed rail changes every single day. I can't believe it, you know. What are we going to build? A 220-mile-an-hour rail system from San Diego to Sacramento. Or maybe we'll build a 220-mile-an-hour rail system from Palmdale to San Francisco, that's what it should say, connecting to a 110-mile-an-hour Metrolink system. Or maybe both a 220-mile-an-hour rail system from San Diego to Sacramento with a connection from south of Merced to San Francisco, or maybe nothing. You know, who knows what we're going to build? It's embarrassing. The High-Speed Rail Authority just released the Palmdale to Los Angeles Supplemental Alternative Analysis Report. I would have read it for you and gone through and give you a quick synopsis of it, but the table of contents is 41 pages long. So I decided maybe I didn't have time yesterday to do it. So let's forget for a moment that the state doesn't have enough money to build it, and that the ridership, that the business plan doesn't even support it, and that it's going to disrupt the state economy, and it's going to disrupt it geographically. Because one thing the state of California has been pretty good about is building roads that go north and south. If ever you've tried to go east and west, you'll notice that it's a little more difficult. And if they build this, it's going to get even more difficult because you won't be able to cross it except where there's an underpass or an overpass, because there'll be no at-grade crossings. You wouldn't want to cross it at grade anyway, because if they're really going to do what they said they're going to do, and you try to cross it, there's a 220-mile-an-hour train coming every 6 minutes. But I did take a couple of sections out of the high-speed rail thing. And this is out of their supplemental. I did not write this. The only part of this that is mine is the underlining. Okay, they said that they did public outreach. They're also really good at outreach. And there were concerns raised at the meetings about connectivity, noise, eminent domain, how many houses are they going to take, grade crossings, which I just was talking about, future development plan, visual impacts, wildlife, each of which can be considered in greater detail during the environmental review or the design refinement process. Well, that said not much of nothing. So I went to the next section. And the next section is about the city of Santa Clarita. So here this is going to come through Santa Clarita. It's going to pop up in Sand Canyon. And don't just think that the only people who are going to have to worry about this is the people in Sand Canyon. I don't know where you live, but I know that where I live, I remember when the Speedway was running sprint cars on Thursday night. I could listen to them from my house. I was miles away. I know that even today, I'm a little ways away from the train tracks, and I can hear the train whistles going by. What do you think it's going to be like when these things pop out of their little hole every 6 minutes at 220 miles an hour? And they're going to tell us we're not going to hear it. So, what is the city of Santa Clarita doing about this? They have not taken an official position. Nothing. Okay, so maybe when we go back and talk to Bob and Tim, we're going to talk to them about high-speed rail. They talked about, now remember, I didn't write this. This is not my opinion. All I put in was the underlining. What is city staff worried about? They're interested in the fact that we don't have a station here and how the residents would access them via the Metrolink stations. So that doesn't really seem to me that that is the concerns about the general population. And, of course, they're concerned about Vista Canyon Ranch development because in one of the two proposed routes, it would pop up in the middle of Vista Canyon Ranch. The other route, it would pop up at the end of Vista Canyon Ranch. In either case, it's going to be heard in Vista Canyon Ranch throughout the whole project. Probably kill it anyway. All right, now if you're concerned about this and you want to get with people, don't worry about it because all the meetings are very conveniently held. There will be a meeting tomorrow, and it's going to be in Sacramento at 10 a.m. And what are they going to talk about? In Sacramento, they're going to talk about Palmdale to Los Angeles. Okay, and so you could have supplied written comments, but too late now because you can't get a mail to them in time. Well, you might be able to overnight them if you write them real fast and send it to them. So there is a high-speed rail task force. Rick and I and Spence have joined on it. I've asked Rick if he would provide us every couple of months with an update on high-speed rail so you don't have to listen to me. The next high-speed rail task force meeting is Monday, the 23rd, and we do have some representation up in Sacramento, and that is Steve Valenziano from the high-speed rail task force, and Mike Murphy from the city of Santa Clarita will be up there at that time. So, anybody have any comments, questions? Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Mike Hogan wants to say a couple of words. Mike's here.
Oh, Mike, you want to say a couple of words?
I don't have anything to say.
Oh, you did. He said a couple of words.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the one thing about the city, the reason the city hasn't taken action or anything,
Give him the microphone, please.
one of the reasons that the city hasn't taken a position on it is the same as most of the residents have no idea where this track is going. And does anybody in this room know where it's going? If you do, raise your hand if you know where this track's going. One person. It's going right behind Sulphur Springs School along Roadrunner Road, and it will be 65 feet in the air, which is 30 feet higher than the railroad crossing at Sand Canyon right now. So everybody on the north side of the 14 freeway will see it and hear it, and we need to stop it, and we're working on it.
Okay. So anyway, you'll hear more about it. And